Hi, and welcome to my build series on YouTube. This is going to be my MagWarden build for the WolfHunter patch. So let's get into the gear. On the front bar I'm running the Master Architect set. It does give you Major Slayer, increasing your damage by 15% for 10 seconds every time you use an ultimate. And we are using the cheap ultimate, the Bear. And then my second set is going to be Necropotence. Now I've tried out several different sets. I've tried out Sororia, Burning Spellweave, Scathing Mage, and Necropotence. And out of all of the sets, Necropotence works the best. You will get the most damage with Necropotence. For my monster set will be Zan. And then I'm running Master Architect with all max spell damage glyphs on the jewelry. Now my front bar I'm running shock damage enchant because I'm not running Burning Spellweave. If I was running Burning Spellweave, it would be flame on the front bar. On my back bar I'm running a flame damage glyph. Both staffs are infused, both are flame. So let's get into the champion points. In the blue tree, I'm running 44 into Elfborn, 64 into Elemental Expert, 24 into Spell Erosion. On all my builds, I run between 23 and 26 Spell Erosion. This will basically cover you all the way up to cap. 23 into Staff Expert, 73 into Master at Arms, and then I'm doing 32 into Thaumaturge. I know it's an odd number, but well, it's actually an even number, but the percentages don't really make a lot of sense there, but I just had extra points and I didn't really want to pop any more into Spell Erosion. Let's do the green tree. The red tree is just one of those things. It changes a lot depending on what content you're doing, so we're not going to do the red tree. So green tree, I'm running 56 into Warlord, 75 Arcanist, 44 into Tenacity, 37 Tumbling, 37 Shadow Ward, and 2 into Shade. That's just to get to the Treasure Hunter passive, and I had an extra point or two. Okay, well, let's do skills. For my spammable on my front bar, I'm running Elemental Weapon. It's a very, very, very good skill, and it's exactly what the Wardens needed to boost their DPS up to respectable numbers. Running Fetcher Infection on my front bar. It's a big dot. It does a ton of damage right up front. Bird of Prey. It's kind of like your Combat Prayer, or it's like your Nightblade ability, Merciless Resolve, basically. Double barring Inner Light for the Max Magicka passive. And I'm running, this is my Destruction staff ability that I'm running on front bar, would be Elemental Drain. This actually doesn't come off my bar at all. It stays right there no matter what. And then I'm running Eternal Guardian for the Bear ultimate. does a ton of damage. The one thing I don't like about this is sometimes swipes all enemies in front of it, dealing 18,248 magic damage and stunning them for 2 seconds. I don't really like that, but it's something that we have to deal with as a magical warden. I will be working on a build that does not involve using the pet or master architect, and I will be posting that shortly as well. But yeah, so the bear does a ton of damage anyway. On the back bar, running Blockade of Fire, Blue Betty, Winter's Revenge, Inner Light again, and Harness Magic will be our damage shield. Now the reason why we're running this, we don't usually use Bird of Prey, but the reason we are running that is for this. Increases your damage done by 2% for each animal companion slotted. So we have the fetches on front, we have the Bird of Prey, and we have the bear ultimate. So that gives us a total of 6% extra damage. And we also get 4 ultimate every time we cast. Every 8 seconds when we cast a animal ability. So let's look at the passives. This one's a good one too. A good reason to have your animal companion on at least 1 bar. Increases your recovery by 12%. We're not running any green balance, but occasionally, even like in VMA or something like that, I might run Leeching Vines. It's just like Crit Surge. It's really, really good. Let's see. Winter's Embrace. Just some really like semi-helpful passives. Nothing like this one's probably the best one. Increases your magic and frost damage by 6%. I mean, I take all the passives if I can. Obviously, I don't have the last passive here, but that doesn't really matter because Warhorn is usually up all the time. That's what Major Toughness is. So all the passives in Destruction Staff tree, of course. All passives unlocked for Light Armor tree. For the Heavy Armor tree, I always take 2 into Juggernaut for the extra health. Fighters Guild. Banish the Wicked, 9 ultimate every time you kill undead, Djura, or werewolf. It's a very helpful passive for almost all content. Psijic Order, I am still working on unlocking the last passive of Spell Orb, which is a DPS passive. So basically, you want to get your Psijic on DPS up to rank 7. That is how high you want it. You want this, and you want this. You don't necessarily need Accelerate. It's not... Trap Beast works better, and it does its own DPS. I'll just be honest. It's much better. Undaunted. I still need to max this out. Obviously, I need that too. I bought Purge in the support tree for Magicka Dump in VSO. I am an Argonian, not the ideal DPS class, but it works for me, and I have almost no resource issues at all. Alchemy, you need this up to 50 for medicinal use. I like to craft my own potions on all my characters. Speaking of which, So there you have it. I will have a parse using this particular setup linked in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this. Oh yeah, before I go, I take the Thief as my Mundus. I actually hit harder with that than anything else in this particular setup. Necropotence and Master Architect. I've topped out on my averaging at 41k DPS. I know I can hit harder once I clean up my rotation, but I talked to a guy last night who is using the same setup I'm using, and he is hitting 47k on a MagWarden on the PlayStation 4. So that's actually really good, and there is a lot of potential with this build. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope this now makes Wardens more relevant in your mind for Magicka, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.